royal watchers were out in force, and all to get that one important picture that shows the charade is finally over.
This is just one of Charles's many properties throughout the UK. Both Highgrove and Ray Mill House are in the countryside.
Charles and Camilla had the property extensively renovated to their taste. Clarence House served as the official residence of King Charles III and Queen Consort Camilla from 2003.
In the heart of the royal family, secrets have been quietly brewing, and a shocking discovery has just come to light. A trusted palace insider has uncovered something buried deep within Queen Camilla's private estate, Ray Mill House, a discovery so startling, it's set to shake the very foundation of her place in the monarchy. What was found behind closed doors is now making headlines and raising serious questions about her future. Could this revelation change everything?
From scandalized outsider to Queen Consort, Camilla Parker Bowles has been on quite the journey.
The royal family has always been a subject of intrigue, with every detail of their lives being closely followed by the public. From their official duties to their personal lives, the curiosity surrounding them is unrelenting. One member of the royal family who has sparked particular interest in recent years is Queen Camilla. Her place in the family has not been without controversy, and now a new revelation has stirred even more attention. Recently, a trusted palace insider was granted rare access to Queen Camilla's private estate, a place that has long been a retreat from the public eye. This estate, called Ray Mill House, has always been seen as Camilla's personal sanctuary, tucked away in the countryside. But what was discovered during this investigation has shocked the public, and the news is making waves across media outlets. The findings have raised new questions about Queen Camilla's position within the royal family and what her future role could be. While the royal family is no stranger to media scrutiny, it's rare for details about their private lives to surface in such a dramatic way. Camilla has long been known to retreat to Ray Mill House whenever she needs to step out of the spotlight. It has been described as a peaceful escape, offering the Queen a break from her royal duties. But now, with the latest revelation, it seems that even this personal space may not be as private as it was once thought to be. The discovery has left many wondering, what exactly was found inside Queen Camilla's estate? And how could it impact her future with the royal family? The ongoing public debate surrounding her role and her private life has only intensified with this new information coming to light. It's clear that this is not just a simple case of an ordinary royal property, but something much more significant, with implications that could reverberate throughout the monarchy. Ray Mill House, located in a quiet corner of Wiltshire, is far from your typical country estate. While many may imagine it to be a modest retreat, it is actually a property of great historical importance. Built in the 1860s, it is classified as a Grade II Italian country house, a recognition that places it among the most important buildings in the region. Its design, which includes a unique asymmetrical layout, has earned it praise for its architectural merit. Over the years, it has been enhanced with additions that complement its original design, adding to its charm and exclusivity. The estate itself covers about 12 acres of land, providing plenty of space for a private and peaceful life. The gardens, which have been described in various publications, are a significant feature of the property. These gardens are a blend of manicured lawns and natural landscapes, with a stream running through the area, adding to the tranquil atmosphere. There is also a heated swimming pool, adding an extra touch of luxury to the estate. It is not just a home. It is a space that Camilla has carefully curated to create an environment where she can relax and escape from the pressures of royal life. But the controversy surrounding Ray Mill House is not just about its beauty or size. The estate has raised questions about whether a member of the royal family, particularly a queen consort, should be allowed to own such a private, luxurious property. While Queen Camila's private life is, of course, her own, the fact that the estate is not part of the official royal properties has made some members of the public uneasy. Should the royal family's members be allowed to own private estates outside the crown's influence, especially when those estates are as grand as Ray Mill House? The estate, while beautiful and serene, also has personal significance for Camilla. She purchased Ray Mill House in 1996, not long after her divorce from Andrew Parker Bowles, and long before she was ever considered for a royal role. At that time, she was still years away from becoming the queen consort, but the house represented the beginning of her attempt to build a private life outside the public eye. In a sense, Ray Mill House became a symbol of her desire for independence, even before her relationship with Prince Charles became public. When she first bought the property, it was valued at $850,000. While this might seem like a significant amount of money, especially for a private individual, the property's current value is likely much higher, given the increase in property prices over the years and the growing demand for properties in the Wiltshire area. Experts estimate that the estate could now be worth around $1 million to $1.2 million. This value is not just based on the size of the property, but also the location and historical importance of the house. The house's proximity to Highgrove House, Prince Charles's residence, also played a role in Camilla's decision to purchase Ray Mill House. It allowed her to remain close to Charles without being under the same roof. This was important in the early stages of their relationship, as it allowed them to keep their romance relatively private while still being able to spend time together. At that point, their relationship was not public knowledge, and having a private home where they could spend time together was a luxury that many did not expect from a future royal. Even after Camilla married Charles in 2005, Ray Mill House remained hers. The couple's primary residence became Clarence House in London, but Camilla did not give up her private home. It continued to serve as her escape from the public eye, a place where she could retreat from the often harsh spotlight of royal life. It became her personal sanctuary, a place where she could be herself without the constraints of her royal duties. Ray Mill House also played a significant role in Camilla's emotional life. After the death of Queen Elizabeth in 2022, Camilla returned to Ray Mill House to grieve privately. It was there that she took time to process the loss of her mother-in-law, away from the public and the formalities of Buckingham Palace. The house offered her a space to mourn in peace, something that is not always easy to find within the royal family's public role. In addition to being a place for solitude, Ray Mill House has also hosted family events. In 2006, for example, Camilla's daughter, Laura Lopez, held her wedding reception at the estate. This personal event, which was largely kept out of the media spotlight, highlighted how important Ray Mill House was to Camilla and her family. It was not just a royal property or a place for public appearances, but a home where family milestones could be celebrated away from the public eye. Over the years, the estate has remained a key part of Camilla's life, offering her the privacy and peace that many royals are unable to find in their official residences. It continues to be a retreat where she can take a break from the pressures of royal life, often spending weekends there to relax. In fact, some media outlets have even referred to Ray Mill House as her messy hideout, a term that underscores its role as a place where Camilla can escape from the perfect image that the royal family is often expected to maintain. Despite the importance of Ray Mill House in Camilla's life, its existence has raised questions about the role of royals and their private property. Some argue that owning such a significant estate outside the crown's control is unusual, especially for a queen consort. But it is important to note that Camilla's ownership of Ray Mill House predates her marriage to Charles, and it is not an uncommon situation for royals to have private property outside the crown estate. This has been the case with other members of the royal family, including Queen Elizabeth, who also owned private estates that were not part of the crown's official holdings. Queen Camilla's private estate, Ray Mill House, located in the quiet countryside of Wiltshire, has long been a place of refuge for the queen consort. It is here, away from the public eye, that Camilla finds solace from the intense pressures of royal life. The estate is not just a simple country house, but a property of significant historical value, an escape that has provided her with privacy when she needed it most. Over the years, Ray Mill House has come to represent more than just a private home for Camilla. It has become a symbol of her attempt to maintain a sense of personal space, something many in the royal family rarely have. Ray Mill House was built in the 1860s, and it is classified as a Grade II listed building, which means it holds special architectural and historic interest. The house's design reflects its Italian country house roots, with a distinctive asymmetrical layout and decorative features that have been admired by architectural critics and historians. It is a large property, covering approximately 12 acres of land, and features beautifully landscaped gardens, which have been praised in prominent publications like Country Life. The gardens themselves are a carefully designed mix of neatly trimmed lawns and more natural landscapes, creating an atmosphere of peace and tranquility. A stream runs through the estate, enhancing the serene and secluded atmosphere that has made Ray Mill House a cherished escape for Camilla. The outdoor space of the estate is not just about beauty, but also luxury. There is a heated swimming pool, offering an extra touch of indulgence that is rare in most private homes, even those owned by the royal family. It is clear that this property has been designed for comfort and peace, providing Camilla with the privacy she needs to relax and disconnect from the world. It's a far cry from the grand, formal palaces and public buildings, typically associated with the royal family. However, the location and design of Ray Mill House are not the only things that make it significant. The estate is located just a short drive away from Highgrove House, the residence of Camilla's husband, King Charles. This proximity played a crucial role in the decision to purchase Ray Mill House. When Camilla bought the property in 1996, she was still years away from becoming a member of the royal family, let alone the Queen Consort. At the time, she was going through a divorce and looking to build a life for herself outside the public eye. Highgrove House, Charles's residence at the time, was also located in the Wiltshire countryside, so owning a home nearby meant Camilla could be close to Charles while still maintaining her privacy. The purchase of Ray Mill House was also significant in the context of the royal family's rules and expectations. Royal family members rarely own property outside the Crown estate, and even fewer are allowed to have private homes that are not associated with royal duties. Yet, Camilla was able to secure Ray Mill House long before her marriage to Charles in 2005, which meant that she already had a personal space where she could retreat from the public eye. This decision was an important one for her, as it allowed her to maintain a sense of independence and privacy, even as her relationship with Charles grew stronger and more public. The price of Ray Mill House at the time of its purchase in 1996 was $850,000. While this may not seem like an astronomical figure today, it was still a substantial sum in the 1990s, especially for someone outside the royal family. The current value of the property is likely much higher, though no official estimate has been provided. Property experts speculate that it could now be worth between $1 million and $1.2 million, given the rising value of homes in the area and the size of the estate. Even so, compared to other royal properties, Ray Mill House is not the most expensive or opulent. Its charm lies in its quiet beauty and its ability to provide the privacy Camilla sought. The proximity to Highgrove House also made the location desirable. Charles's home was not just a royal residence, but a place where he could pursue personal projects and interests. By owning a home nearby, Camilla could remain close to him while still having a space of her own. This arrangement allowed them to maintain a degree of privacy, which was particularly important given the scrutiny they faced in the early days of their relationship. Their romance had to be carefully managed to avoid unwanted public attention, and Ray Mill House provided a quiet place where they could spend time together without the prying eyes of the media. When Camilla married Charles in 2005, Ray Mill House remained hers, even though the couple's primary residence became Clarence House in London. While Clarence House was their official home, Ray Mill House continued to serve as a retreat for Camilla, providing her with the space to escape the pressures of royal life. It was here that she could take a break from the royal spotlight and have some personal time away from the public's gaze. Ray Mill House has also played an important role in Camilla's emotional life. After the death of Queen Elizabeth in 2022, Camilla sought refuge in the estate to grieve privately. She had a close relationship with Queen Elizabeth, and the loss was deeply personal. Ray Mill House offered her the privacy she needed during this difficult time, away from the constant demands of royal duties. The estate became a place of solace and reflection, a sanctuary where Camilla could mourn without the public's watchful eye. The estate has also been a setting for family events. In 2006, Camilla's daughter, Laura Lopes, held her wedding reception at Ray Mill House. This personal occasion, which was kept largely out of the media spotlight, demonstrated the significance of the property in Camilla's life. It was not just a place of refuge for her. It was a family home, where important moments could be celebrated in private. This use of the estate for personal family events further reinforces its importance as a sanctuary from the royal world, a place where Camilla could be herself without the constraints of her royal duties. Over the years, Ray Mill House has remained a central part of Camilla's life. It continues to be a place where she retreats to relax and recharge, often spending weekends there to take a break from her royal duties. Some media outlets have even referred to it as her messy hideout, a term that reflects the more private, unguarded version of Camilla that exists outside the royal public image. It is a rare glimpse into the life of a royal who, despite her official title and royal responsibilities, still values her privacy and independence. While some may question whether a member of the royal family should be allowed to own such a private, luxurious estate, it is important to remember that Ray Mill House was purchased long before Camilla's marriage to Charles. She has owned the property for nearly 3 decades, and its status as a personal retreat is deeply embedded in her life. The fact that the estate is not part of the official royal properties may raise some eyebrows, but it is hardly an unusual situation. Many members of the royal family have private homes that are not tied to the crown estate. For instance, Queen Elizabeth II owned several private estates, including Sandringham House and Balmoral Castle, which were passed down to her through the family and were never part of the crown estate. These properties, much like Ray Mill House, were personal to the Queen and were not used for royal duties. They were places where she could spend time with her family and enjoy some privacy away from the demands of her public role. Ray Mill House, while not owned by the crown, is therefore not an anomaly in the royal family's history. It simply reflects the desire for privacy that many royals, including Camilla, have sought over the years. Queen Camilla's role in the royal family has always been a subject of much debate and public scrutiny. Despite the passage of time and her official title as Queen Consort, her place within the royal family remains a complex issue, shaped by her past, her actions, and the ongoing public discourse. One of the key aspects of Camilla's life outside her official duties is Ray Mill House, her private estate located in Wiltshire. This home has long been a sanctuary for the Queen, offering her a space away from the spotlight where she can retreat from the often overwhelming demands of royal life. Yet, it is not just a personal retreat for Camilla. It is a symbol of her emotional life and her quest for privacy, one that has remained significant even after her marriage to Prince Charles in 2005. When Camilla purchased Ray Mill House in 1996, it was at a time when she was still years away from assuming a royal role. She had recently divorced Andrew Parker Bowles and was in the process of rebuilding her life outside of the royal family's gaze. Ray Mill House was her first major personal investment, a property where she could establish her own space and step away from the public eye. The house was not just an ordinary country estate. It was a sanctuary for Camilla, a place where she could escape the pressures of her public life and focus on her own emotional well-being. This private retreat would become a central part of her life, offering solace and comfort through both difficult and joyful times. For Camilla, Ray Mill House represented the ability to maintain some independence. Unlike many royal family members who have lived their lives within the confines of official royal properties, Camilla was able to carve out a space for herself long before she became the Queen Consort. The house allowed her to live outside the expectations that came with royal life, and it became a place of peace during a time when her relationship with Prince Charles was still kept private. In those early years, it was essential for Camilla to have a location that was distant enough from the public, but still close enough to Charles for them to continue building their relationship without attracting undue attention. When Camilla married Charles in 2005, the couple's primary residence became Clarence House, but Ray Mill House remained hers. Despite being married to the Prince of Wales, she continued to use Ray Mill as her private space, one that was not involved in her official royal duties. It became a place for Camilla to escape the public duties and royal obligations that came with being married to Charles. It also provided her with a place to process her emotions and take a break from the royal spotlight. This level of personal space, away from the formalities of royal life, was crucial for Camilla, who had never been particularly comfortable with the public eye. Her relationship with Ray Milhouse became even more meaningful after the death of Queen Elizabeth in 2022. Following the passing of her mother-in-law, Camilla returned to Ray Milhouse to grieve privately. The loss of Queen Elizabeth was a deeply personal moment for Camilla, and Ray Mill offered her the privacy she needed to mourn without the watchful eyes of the public or the royal duties that typically followed such a loss. It was in this private space that she could reflect and process the emotions of losing such an influential figure, someone who had been an integral part of her life since her marriage to Charles. Over the years, Ray Milhouse has not only served as a sanctuary for Camilla, but it has also played a role in her family life. In 2006, her daughter Laura Lopes held her wedding reception at the estate, further reinforcing the idea that Ray Milhouse was a place where personal milestones could be celebrated away from the public eye. The estate provided enough space to accommodate guests, yet still retained the warmth and intimacy of a family home. This was not just another royal property. It was a home that held personal memories and emotional significance for Camilla and her family. Though Ray Milhouse may have started as a retreat from public life, it has also come to represent more than just a private space for Camilla. Over the years, it has become a symbol of her attempt to create a life outside the royal spotlight. It reflects her need for independence, her desire to maintain a sense of privacy, and her ability to carve out space for herself in a world that often demands everything from her. Despite being married to Charles and taking on the responsibilities of Queen Consort, Camilla has not let go of the house, and it continues to play a central role in her emotional life. Her relationship with the royal family has been complicated, and there have been moments when it seemed like she struggled to find her place within the strict protocols of royal life. From the early days of her relationship with Charles, when their love was kept secret, to the more public phases of their marriage, Camilla has often been viewed as an outsider within the royal family. The stigma from her involvement in the breakdown of Charles's first marriage to Princess Diana has never completely faded, and there are still some who view her as an interloper. This division has shaped Camilla's experience within the royal family and has likely influenced her desire to maintain a private life outside the confines of official royal properties. Despite these challenges, Camilla has continued to carry out her duties as Queen Consort with grace, and her role within the family has evolved over time. Her use of Ray Milhouse as her private retreat has allowed her to navigate the pressures of royal life on her terms. It has been her safe haven, a place where she can escape the demands of being a public figure and simply be herself. While many royal family members have been accustomed to living in large formal palaces, Camilla's connection to Ray Milhouse has always been different. It is a personal connection that goes beyond the official title she holds as Queen Consort. It represents her ability to retain a piece of her individuality in a world that often expects conformity. In addition to providing a private space for personal reflection and family gatherings, Ray Milhouse has also been a place for Camilla to take refuge when the pressures of royal life became overwhelming. The media and public have always had a keen interest in her relationship with Charles, and at times, this has led to intense scrutiny. Having a private retreat has allowed Camilla to take a step back from this constant public gaze and find peace in her own space. This is something that very few royals have, given the constant attention they face. Ray Milhouse, in many ways, has been a lifeline for Camilla, offering her a break from the scrutiny that comes with being married to the future king. The most infamous incident that tied Camilla's name to the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage occurred in 1993. A private phone call between Charles and Camilla was leaked to the press. The conversation, which was intimate and personal, shocked the nation. The details of the conversation, which involved a candid and, to some, inappropriate discussion about their relationship, were splashed across newspapers, sparking an uproar. The scandal, which came to be known as Tampon Gate, confirmed what many had suspected, that Camilla and Charles had been romantically involved while Charles was still married to Diana. This revelation painted Camilla as the woman who had played a significant role in the dissolution of one of the most beloved marriages in British royal history. The public's reaction was swift and harsh. Camilla was vilified, seen as the woman who had broken up a marriage that was deeply cherished by the public. This scandal left a permanent mark on Camilla's public image. Despite her long relationship with Charles, she was never fully embraced by the public. For many, Camilla was the symbol of the end of a royal fairy tale. The public's love for Princess Diana was immense, and it was difficult for many to separate the pain caused by the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage from the woman who had been involved in it. Even after Diana's death in 1997, the stigma surrounding Camilla remained. She continued to be viewed by some as the woman who had helped tear apart a family that was seen as an institution in the United Kingdom. As Charles and Camilla's relationship became more public, Camilla's transition into royal life was not without its challenges. She was often described as uncomfortable in the spotlight, a sentiment that was perhaps unsurprising given the intense public interest in her. In interviews and appearances, Camilla sometimes appeared uneasy and out of place, which did little to endear her to the public. Some reports suggested that Camilla was not fully prepared for the role she was expected to play within the royal family. She was often described as someone who didn't enjoy the attention, someone who found the spotlight a difficult place to inhabit. This raised questions about whether Camilla was truly invested in her royal duties, or simply going along with them out of necessity. While Charles had spent much of his life preparing for his role as king, Camilla had not undergone the same training or preparation. She did not have the experience of a lifetime spent in royal circles, and many wondered whether she could ever truly fit in. There were moments that highlighted her discomfort. For instance, at a royal event, Camilla was seen allowing Princess Anne to walk ahead of her, breaking the usual order of precedence. Some saw this as an innocent mistake, while others saw it as a sign that Camilla still didn't fully understand the intricacies of royal protocol. In a family where tradition and hierarchy are so important, such an incident didn't go unnoticed, and it added to the perception that Camilla was struggling to find her place. Camilla's challenges did not end with the initial scrutiny of her relationship with Charles or her awkward moments in the public eye. Over the years, she also faced criticism from some within the royal family itself. There were reports that Camilla's presence within the royal family was not always welcomed. While Charles was publicly supportive of her, it seemed that not everyone in the family was as accepting. This created a sense of division, where Camilla appeared to be both a part of the family and yet still somewhat of an outsider. Her relationship with Charles was never fully accepted by the public, and it seemed that this divide extended beyond the media and public opinion into the royal family itself. One of the most significant areas of contention in Camilla's life as a royal was her children, Laura Lopes and Tom Parker Bowles. Unlike other royal children, Laura and Tom were not granted royal titles. This followed royal tradition, as titles typically passed down through bloodlines, not through marriages. However, it raised questions about their place in the royal family and the degree to which they were included in royal life. For example, Tom Parker Bowles revealed that he and his sister had never attended Christmas at Sandringham, the royal family's traditional holiday gathering. This further emphasized the idea that Camilla's family was somewhat separate from the royal family, even though she was married to the future king. The absence of her children at such important events made it clear that Camilla's role within the family was not entirely defined, and her family's status within the royal household remained unclear. Public opinion about Camilla continued to shift in the years following her marriage to Charles, but the lingering effects of the Diana scandal and the ongoing criticisms of her role within the family were difficult to shake. Even when Camilla began to take on more royal duties, the public was still deeply divided over her position. She was often seen as someone who had not fully earned her place within the royal family, a perception that only added to the challenges she faced in her new role. In recent years, Camilla has made efforts to change her image. She has taken on causes that have resonated with the public, such as raising awareness about domestic violence and supporting literacy programs. These efforts have helped her gain respect in certain circles, though it is clear that the public's opinion of her remains mixed. While some appreciate her work and dedication to these causes, others continue to see her as a controversial figure, shaped by her past and the scandals that followed her into the royal family. Perhaps the most significant shift in Camilla's public perception occurred in 2023, when it was announced that she would be referred to as Queen rather than Queen Consort. This decision marked a significant change in her role within the royal family, but it was not without controversy. Some royal insiders, including Princess Anne, reportedly did not agree with the decision, believing it went against what Queen Elizabeth had wanted. Whether or not this was true, it was clear that the decision sparked further debate within the palace, highlighting that not everyone was on board with Camilla's elevated status. As concerns about King Charles's health grow, a new layer of uncertainty surrounds Queen Camilla's future in the royal family. Although much attention has been focused on Charles's well-being, Camilla's future as Queen Consort is now a topic of increasing interest. King Charles's public disclosure of his cancer diagnosis in early 2024, a historic move in itself, left many wondering what would happen if he were no longer able to fulfill his royal duties. While the details of his condition have remained private, the announcement sparked concerns about his ability to continue his role as monarch, making the future of the monarchy even more unpredictable. In this uncertain environment, Camilla's position becomes a focal point. Should Charles's health decline, Camilla will likely find herself facing a complex set of circumstances. Historically, the role of Queen Consort is tied to the reigning monarch's power and authority. However, Camilla's situation is unique. She is married to the king, but much of her public life and royal duties are intertwined with Charles's own role. Without him, her future within the monarchy could be questioned. Would she remain Queen Consort, or would she be reclassified in a different role, such as Dowager Queen, as has occurred with previous consorts who outlived their husbands? The question of Camilla's titles and responsibilities becomes even more crucial when considering the fact that Prince William, as the heir to the throne, will play a key role in shaping the future of the monarchy. Camilla's relationship with William has been relatively low profile, but as the new monarch, William will have the constitutional power to make decisions regarding her title and role within the royal family. Given the emotional weight tied to Diana's legacy, many wonder if William's respect for his mother's memory will affect how he views Camilla's place in the royal family. Despite the uncertainty surrounding her future, Camilla's personal circumstances may also influence her decisions. She has spent much of her life seeking privacy and independence, and there may come a time when she chooses to retreat from public life altogether. If Charles's reign ends, Camilla may step back from her royal duties, perhaps returning to the more private life she once led at Ray Milhouse.